Everyone watched the Spider-Man Brand New Day leaks and saw the same things. The Hulk, the wedding crash, a mystery villain. But almost nobody asked the real question. What is this movie actually about? Because if you line the leaks up with the comics, they point to something genuinely dark. The clues suggest Peter Parker is going to die in this film and come back as something that isn't fully human anymore. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to decode exactly what these leaks reveal, the transformation, the villain nobody can explain, and how it ends. And I'll tell you what's confirmed versus what's still just a theory. Let's get into it. Start with the name. Brand New Day is a real Spider-Man comic, a 2008 reset that stripped Peter back to basics. No marriage, secret identity restored, struggling, alone. And yes, the movie uses that setup. After No Way Home, the whole world forgot him. He's isolated, back to square one. But here's the trick. The title is from one comic. The story is from a completely different, much darker one. Because Tom Holland keeps using one specific word to describe this film. Rebirth. Not sequel, not reset. Rebirth. And in Spider-Man comics, rebirth means one thing. A story called The Other. And once you know what happens in The Other, every single leak suddenly makes sense. Watch. Here's the comic. In The Other, Peter's powers start failing. Blackouts, dizzy spells, his body breaking down. He's told he's dying. Then he's pushed to the absolute brink. And instead of just dying, his body forces an evolution. He sheds his human skin, wraps himself in a giant web cocoon, and emerges reborn. More spider than man. Organic webbing, stingers in his wrists, fangs, night vision. A deeper, primal spider sense. Now look at the leaks. Black eyes flashing? Check. A line about his DNA mutating? Check. A voiceover about spiders having 3 life cycles and a rebirth? Check. Peter waking up inside a web cocoon? Check. Organic webbing he can't control? Confirmed by Tom Holland himself? Check. This isn't a coincidence. The movie is adapting The Other, which means the rumor is probably true. Peter Parker likely dies in this movie, at least symbolically, and comes back changed, more powerful, more feral, closer to the edge of losing himself. That's why he goes to Bruce Banner. Banner is the one man who knows what it's like to have a monster inside trying to take over. But here's what The Other doesn't explain. Who's causing all this? That's where she comes in. Sadie Sink. Marvel has hidden her role through 2 trailers. They won't even officially announce who she's playing. That level of secrecy is bizarre for a movie, and the entire internet thinks she's Jean Grey, the most powerful telepath in Marvel. Now, this is not confirmed, but the evidence is stacking up fast. In the trailer, someone uses mind control, body hopping from person to person, and the editing points straight to Sink's character. She's a redhead, she's been glimpsed in a green suit, Jean's colors, and multiple reliable leakers, the same ones who leaked Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom months early, all say the same thing. She's Jean Grey. Even Sadie Sink herself slipped in an interview that she found out about her role through that exact leak. And here's the deeper layer. There's a character named Bill Metzger, played by Tramiel Tillman, and in the comics, Metzger is a mutant-hunting government villain. Leaks say he runs the Department of Damage Control, now hunting Sink's character as a mutant. So the story might be Spider-Man finds a terrified young woman being hunted by an anti-mutant task force and helps her. That's not just a villain, that's an origin story. Which leads to the biggest implication of all. If she is Jean Grey, then Spider-Man Brand New Day isn't just a Spider-Man movie. It's the film that quietly introduces mutants into the MCU, right before the X-Men explode into Avengers Doomsday. Spider-Man becomes the doorway to the entire next era of Marvel. So how does it end? If the movie follows The Other, the climax isn't a fight, it's a choice. Peter, transformed, more violent, more feral, has to decide, does he suppress what he's becoming, like Banner caged his Hulk? Or does he accept it, let go of being fully human, and be reborn as something more? The leaks suggest he accepts it. He surrenders to the cocoon and comes back evolved. And that's where the Punisher fits. A lot of people think John Bernthal's Punisher is there to mentor Peter. I think it's the opposite. As Peter gets more aggressive, crossing lines he never used to, the Punisher is the warning, the mirror. This is what happens if you let the monster win. Banner pulls him one way, the Punisher the other, and Peter has to choose who he is. Now, one thing I do not think happens. In the comics, all of this is caused by a multiversal vampire named Morlun and a spider god. I think Marvel skips that. It's too magical for this grounded street-level story. So if you're expecting Morlun, probably not. But the death, the rebirth, the new powers, that's coming.
Now zoom out. Why does any of this matter for the bigger MCU? 2 months after Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday brings the X-Men crashing into the Marvel Universe, and the timing is too clean to ignore. If Brand New Day really introduces the first homegrown MCU mutant in Jean Grey, then Spider-Man just lit the fuse for the entire mutant age. And there's a deeper, nerdier theory I love. In the comics, when the Spider Totems, Spider-Man's mystical side, sense a massive threat to reality, Peter's powers evolve as a defense mechanism. Now, think about what's coming. Doctor Doom is about to tear the multiverse apart in Doomsday. What if Peter's transformation isn't random? What if his body is evolving because the multiverse itself is in danger? Spider-Man leveling up right when the universe needs him most. To be clear, Marvel hasn't confirmed a direct link between the two films. This part is my theory, not fact. But the pieces fit a little too well. A reborn, evolved Spider-Man. A new mutant. A multiverse on the edge of collapse. Brand New Day might be the quietest, most important setup movie of this entire Marvel saga.
So let's separate fact from theory, because that's the whole point. Confirmed, Peter's mutating. Organic webbing is real. There's a cocoon, and Tom Holland calls this a rebirth. Strong theory, it's adapting the other. Peter dies and is reborn, and Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And pure speculation, the direct Doomsday link and anything to do with Morlun. But put it all together and the picture is wild. This is the movie where Peter Parker dies as a kid from Queens and is reborn as something far more powerful, right as Marvel's mutant age begins. So I want to know, do you think Peter actually dies and comes back? And is Sadie Sink really Jean Grey? Tell me below. Subscribe for the full official trailer breakdown and I'll see you in the next one.